Because PT is still one of the most amazing video games ever created. And it's like a tech demo, and dude, that game, God, don't get me started talking about PT and do people care about spoilers for PT now? I mean, most people, there's ways you can play it on PCs online and stuff like that, but like, there's some things about that game that you'll never know, and it doesn't, like, there's no way to find out without people actually going into the game and hacking it and doing stuff. But like, one of the things they discovered about that game, about PT, I was just like, no, fuck this, dude, no. No, holy crap, oh my God. Because like, there's an evil ghost lady that, occasionally attacks you in the middle of the demo and stuff like that. But there's so much more about that ghost lady and that game that when I found out, I was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. This is not cool at all. Oh, man. I mean, if you want me to say it in the chat, just let me know if you guys don't mind spoilers or whatever like that, because it's like, it's still one of the coolest things I think that's ever been done in a video game, and it's terrifying, dude. It's absolutely terrifying. Because when you're playing the game, there's lighting sources and stuff like that, and every once in a while you would hear random noises, and like you would see like shadows being cast around random places and stuff like that. Yeah, I've mentioned it before, Zilcho. Yeah. So yeah, here we go. So you better mute right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the greatest like Easter eggy thing that people found out is that, the ghost lady who like you're learning about and all this stuff, like she's literally following you the entire game. It's an FPS. It's a first person view. But everywhere you go and turn, she just stays behind you the entire time. And so, like, she will accidentally cast shadows every once in a while. She will, I guess, make noise sometimes every once in a while. But she's literally floating by. In fact, there was one thing where people figured out if you walked backwards through a door and you like clicked it and did some crazy thing, you would catch a glimpse of her for a frame, and people were like, oh my God, well, that's crazy. But then people only discovered it was because when you went through the door, it turned you around so fast that she appeared for one frame before she warped behind you again. But literally the whole game, the whole time you're playing it, she's floating behind you, and it's like, oh my God. Dude, that game, Century Year, if you just came in here and are just hanging around, we're talking about PT on the PlayStation 4. Dude, like that game, oh my God, some of the stuff that they made you do was just, it was one of the creepiest games, and it's, like, I didn't think I would ever play it, and so like when I started hearing about it, I just popped up like YouTube videos of people playing it, and dude, even just watching other people playing, I was freaked out. Like, that game scares the hell out of you. Scares the hell out of you, and some of the things that just like, and it's not like, and the best thing about it is it's like, it's not scaring you in the way that everything else scares you, which is just like, oh, jump scare, this, like, this thing was just really good at just like, what is going on, and things and noises and basically you keep going through the same area over and over and over again, and the way it keeps changing subtly every time you go through it, you're just like, oh God, oh man, yeah, right, exactly. The scariest thing is things not jumping out at you. Nothing ever jumped out at you in PT, but that's what made it scary, because like you just felt like at some point something is going to. and you know, if to be fair, Predacon, who says he's too much of a coward to play horror games, I'm with you on that one. I do not watch horror films. I hate scary things because I'm so emotional. I'm such an emotional human being that, horror films and scary jumps and things like that affect me a lot. And I do not process, like you go into a horror movie, you're expecting everybody to die except for maybe one, maybe two, or maybe three characters. But like, I feel bad about everybody who dies. Like, I get really upset. Even if they're like minor characters and you're not supposed to care about them, like, it bothers me a lot, So like, I don't do well with the concept of horror genres and stuff like that. Having said that, early Silent Hills are still my absolute, like, one of my favorite series. Silent Hill, like, that game freaked me out so badly. Like, every Silent Hill, they have that scene. Every Silent Hill has that moment in the game where you're just like, "Ugh!" and like, and like, dude, like, some of those moments, like, kill me. Like, sometimes when I think about some of those moments, like, I just absolutely, like, I still get chills. And I still don't want to think about it and don't want to process it. And which was great because we would play Silent Hill in groups. Like, there would be like 5 or 6 of us and like, a few girls there. And like every time anything happened, they would scream. And it was actually kind of hilarious, dude. It was really entertaining. But yeah, Silent Hill, oh man. And then of course, Silent Hill 2 just happened to have, not only was it a good atmosphere, but it just also happened to have like one of the greatest stories ever written in media. Like, because it was the only way you can figure out what's going on in Silent Hill 2 is through playing and through exploring and figuring it out yourself. And eventually, if you can figure it out yourself, dude, you're just like, oh my God, like everything makes sense. Like, the whole game makes sense now, and like, oh my God, that's Angela and Eddie Dombrowski. Like, you're like, that's okay. I get it now. And dude, like, oh man. I mean, because there's a new Silent Hill coming out, I don't want to spoil it, but all I'm going to say is if anybody who's actually played Silent Hill 2, and it's tough because old Silent Hill 2, the camera's bad and stuff like that, but, I'm hesitant on the remake for sure. But for anybody who loves Silent Hill as much as I do, there's one scene where one character is like, who says, "Oh, you see it too? I thought it was just me." And oh my God, like when you realize what she's talking about and the implications of that line, like I still get emotional and I still get like chills, dude. I get chills about that, dude. It's crazy. That one scene, oh my God, it was, dude, that scene, what that line implied and kind of like made everything like come together. I was just like, oh my God. Yeah, Silent Hill 2 doesn't look right. I mean, James Sunderland should never be able to fight really well. That's like not the point. I know they did that in Homecoming and they made the excuse that, the character you're using is ex-military. So at least that kind of made sense. But yeah, what Ennis actually says there's actually a legit concern about that. Maria in the original Silent Hill 2 was just in this super short skirt with like this, crop top kind of thing. Like she was really, really sexy in like this weird, like not sexy way. I can't describe it, but like she was really sexy in a not sexy way. And that's significant. So yeah, I mean, a lot of modern games these days try to, tone down the objectification and stuff. But Maria looking that way, Maria as a character to be objectified is the entire point of the character. Like, that's actually crucial to to the message of the game. Like, it sounds weird to say that. Like, oh sure, James. Oh yeah, she has to breathe through her skin, right, James? No, no, no. Like, legit, Maria being sexy is so relevant to the game. Is so relevant to the game. Cause right, yeah, he's like, it's not really objectifying. It's kind of like a commentary on it, dude. Man. Anyways, Silent Hill 2, I can talk about forever, especially Silent Hill 2. I remember I went on a date. Well, it wasn't even a date with a girl, but I mean, I was hanging out with a girl that I really, really liked, who wasn't really into video games. And I started telling her about video games and like how video games can be amazing. And so I just started describing the Silent Hill 2 story to her. And I just was describing the whole entire thing and how it played out and all this stuff. And she was like, that's actually really cool. Like, it wasn't even one of those memes where I'm like yelling in her ear and she's just like looking like, get me the fuck out of here. Like, she was legit like, wow, that's actually really, really neat.